What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of A Wolf in Gates Clothing, hosted by yours truly, Wolfson, and with me, as always, Mike Phoenix Hero. Let's go! What's up? How's it going, man? How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah, another week of not me going to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. It's getting to the point that I'm willing to go to other places just to get the itch out. I don't like that. I don't like that, to the fact that it's like I want to go to the locals with my homies, with my friends, with all my players, you know? I don't want to go to some other locals and not seeing anybody there and, you know, see some acquaintances and just, you know, fist bump. That's it. And yeah, and everybody taking the goddamn game so seriously that, you know, that's when shit hits the fan, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that. So hopefully now next month I'll be having more Yu-Gi-Oh time, and, you know, we'll see how it goes. But enough about my soror story. I want to hear your local experience. Tell me how about it, man. How was it?
So I took pure cash, like I said.
Yeah.
And I went first place undefeated.
Let's go. Congratulations once again. Undefeated.
With cash.
With cash. Just to prove everybody and all the trolls, including the store owner, Travis, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Cash is a broken deck. If cash can literally play through any deck, I don't see why we need to give up a cash. If it works, it works. So give us a quick rundown.
So I added 3 Nemesis corridors.
Ooh.
And the Thunder Dragon Colossus.
Yeah.
Since it got unbanned. And it works so well. If you open Fenrir and you had or some way to get the Fenrir and you have a Rise Heart or you can search him or whatever. You need some way to get a Rise Heart and get a corridor. So typically my end boards are special summon Fenrir, search Rise Heart, normal summon Rise Heart. Do not special summon him because if you special summon him, you're XC's locked. Yeah. So it's normal summon, and then I would send Ogre, and then Nemesis corridor to shuffle back Ogre, and then summon corridor, and then go into Thunder Dragon, and then pass. And it's okay, you can't search, and also now you have to fight a Fenrir.
And a Colossus, by the way.
Yeah.
With built-in protection.
Yeah. And then again, if you have Shifter, you can get rid of another monster, you sometimes don't even have to go into Rise Heart. Just depends what you have. So game 1 was against Sky Striker. And game 1, I didn't open Shifter. So it was very grindy. Because they would use the spell to destroy my Colossus. But then I would shuffle, I drew another corridor. Shuffle Colossus back into the extra deck, and then summon corridor because of that, and then summon Thunder Dragon. So it was they just couldn't be over Colossus. So I was even if because they destroyed it, and then Sky Striker has the card to banish a card from their graveyard.
Yeah.
And so they thought banishing corridor was banishing Colossus
will mean you can't take it. Psych.
Yeah. So they couldn't. And then game 2, I opened Shifter against them. And yeah, game 1 took a long time. It was 30 minutes. It was very back and forth. Because none of us could get game. And then they kept activating stuff. And I was unicorn to start banishing Kagari, a second Kagari, Hayate. All their extra decks are thinning out.
Yeah.
And they pretty much need all of them. So I won that. Game 2 was against Matt. Shout out to Matt. With Tenpai.
Oh, Matt went with Tenpai?
Yeah.
Did he do it all right?
The first game I just locked him out. Again. Fenrir, Thunder Dragon. I was yep, you can't really do anything. He needs that initial search and he just couldn't do it.
Right.
And then I think the last game against him, I couldn't OTK him. He did set up some sort of board, but not optimal because I think I ashed him where like I was able to. And he left with the Tenpai, the one that says like your opponent cannot activate effects during the battle phase.
Oh, the Odd Eyes Meteor Burst.
No. There's a Tenpai that has that built in.
Your opponent cannot activate all monsters. Okay, I'm bringing the boss monster. All monsters you control must attack if able. Your opponent can activate cards or effects during the battle phase. Ooh, yeah.
So
it's I tend to ignore that part because at that point, if I'm already have my Sengai, I'm already OTKing you. Like I'm finishing you off at this point. Like there's nothing that you can do.
Yeah, it was a state where like that's all he could do. Like he did some damage and stuff. I think also what happened was I think I had a Scare Claw Cash on field.
Yeah.
And that automatically like negates
everything on battle. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that also like messed him up a bit. Because it's like declare attack and I was like, okay, negated. You can't quick synchro hit this. But so basically he left with that. And then I'm going to Big Eye, steal it. And I'm like, pass. And then he tries to do stuff. And then in battle phase, I'm like, hey, like you're under your own floodgate. That's like the word. That's why people hate the mirror. A lot of people hate the mirror match with Tenpai, and it's because of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I Big Eye took it, and I was like, "Yep, sorry." Like Big Eye for the win. Game 2. Then
round 3.
Round 3 was against Ancient Gear.
With the new support.
Game 1 I bricked so bad. I had set rotation. Zombie World.
You have such a bad luck when it comes to breaking, bro. When you break hard.
And what was it? It was like Ghost Bell and 2 of the Power Sync Stones, the trap that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And that's the only game I opened it, by the way. The only game I ever got the Power Sync Stone was the game that I bricked. And the guy basically was like, oh, okay, like I had to play around that. He only got 1 counter on it. And then all his effects were basically from spells.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, that was so useless. And then game 2 and 3, I unbricked by opening shifter twice. So I was like, yup. So it was like game 2 shifter, game 3 shifter.
Shifter is a card, bro. Shifter is a card.
And I was like, I got the set rotation finally, but it was like with Zombie World.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't even, like, I activated Zombie World and I was hoping some of his cards were like more generic and were saying that like, if you control like a machine, you can do this and that. But all his cards were like, if you control an Ancient Gear or whatever, Ancient Warrior, whatever. I was like, okay, like it didn't matter that like his stuff was no longer machines. Because I was even looking at his like fusions, making sure it said like, it didn't have like machine as a thing, but I was like, nah. So he just beat over Zombie World, and yeah. But I won it. Game 4 was a 60 pile. Yeah, last round. A 60 pile.
Light Sworn?
No, it was branded Despia, the Fright Work patch.
Nani?
Like anything that has ever used, yeah, with Tri Brigade, like any engine that was ever used in branded.
Yeah, they just compile it all into one.
Yeah. Game 1, he got it. Game 2, I got it. And then game 3, it was like 5 minutes left. He set up a board with Masquerade.
Oh,
so if I activated an effect, I would have to, yeah. And I go into main phase 1. I drew Raw Spear. So I just Raw Spear his 3 monsters. Because he had 3 monsters. And and he had like, I think he had the quick spell branded to fuse. And then he said it, so I knew he had it. So like, yeah. So in every phase, I kept asking him. I'm just like, in draw phase, I'm like, any cards to activate? No. Okay. I'm like, because I could have just said, okay, main phase 1. I was like, no, I want to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
That he was not like, he's going to activate that when needed. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, this is a draw. I'm like, anything in draw? No. Okay. Anything in standby? No. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah. I'm like, main phase 1. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Raw Spear. And he's like, oh, let me check. I'm like, it's inherent summon.
It's an inherent site. There's no quick effect or anything. Like it has to go through. It's a tribute. It's a tribute summon, basically. Like you can't respond to it.
Yeah. So I do that, and then Heartbeats, his back row.
Emotional damage.
Oh my god!
So all you have was Raw Spear.
You went nuts.
And then I kaiju the Raw Spear. So then it's an attack, and I can attack it. So he had nothing but a kaiju, and I special summon Unicorn, but he's like, "Oh, time," and I was like, okay, because I could just enter battle. I'm like, "Oh, I'll enter battle." He's like, "No, time was already called." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." I'm like, "I can still burn you." So I do the whole.
You went the napalm.
Yeah, the napalm. Yeah, just the Ray Raptor napalm. And I was like, "Yep." So I was, and I was like, bro.
This is some Yu-Gi-Oh! Next level pro shit.
Yeah, the protagonist.
Bro, and he was self-assured that he was gonna get the game, that there was gonna be a draw.
Yeah, or draw, yeah, because I could have guessed like kept stalling and be like, oh, I don't know what effect. I'm like Raw Spear. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, Harpy, oh, Kaiju, and I'm like, special summon Unicorn. He's like, and then the ringer went off for time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, can I enter battle? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I will just burn you with napalm. And that's exactly what I did.
Bro.
I burned him with napalm.
He couldn't believe it. He was just like, what?
Yeah, because I go Unicorn, Theosis, Fenrir, Rise Hard. Like I just kept like just playing it out just for fun. Cause like I'm already stuck in main phase.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay, like Unicorn and Rise Hard into Arsenal Falcon, detach, summon napalm effect to burn for 500. And that was game.
That's it. And he had nothing.
He had nothing. He was pretty sure like he knew like trying to get rid of the Masquerade was gonna cost me life points.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, I drew the Raw Spear. And I also drew the Kaiju. So unless he had like a second Masquerade, like it wouldn't have really like done anything. But the fact that I just like Raw Speared everything, removed his back row.
That's crazy.
And it's also the Ghost Rare Raw Spear.
I was gonna ask you, was like, was it a Ghost Rare or something that you pulled? Yo. I'm tempted to get just a Ghostware, just for the fuck of it, just because it's Ghostware.
Yeah, I literally just completely like I kept like I was like, please summon at least 3 stuff, because a lot of people like respect Raw Spear, only summon 2 then pass when they know it's like a for time or whatever.
Right.
But he summoned 3. It was like maybe I think like Hartesia, the Masquerade, and then Lubellion Bestial, Bestial Lubellion, and I was like, yeah, I'm just distribute all 3. You can't quick synchro. You can't use the branded. You can't. Yeah.
That's crazy. Are you making a deck profile of this with Colossus?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, of
course you have to.
I'm probably gonna take out the Power Sync Stone. Like, I never got to use it. The only time I did, it was not like. Or I might just leave it and see how it plays out.
Okay.
But what's interesting is like a lot of people in the judges lounge are like asking about that card now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, they're sniping on you. They're spying on you. It's just
because it came out in the Fire King structure deck. Because that's where I saw it too. I'm guessing people are trying to find like alternatives to summon limit. And that's like one of them.
So
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you, like, when the ruling of timing, you can't declare a battle phase if you're in a main phase.
I think you can, but I was like in the middle of a search, I think, or like finishing up my search for Theosis.
But wouldn't that like that's the part I don't understand. I thought it is you are allowed to proceed to battle phase, because they say that the time ruling, once it starts, then you have to end the current phase. You are allowed to end your main phase to go to battle, and then just OTK you regardless, and then just end your turn, and that's it. That's the end of it. Isn't that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I would have to reread. But it didn't matter. I was like,
it didn't. Like, I know it didn't matter because you won because of the burn. But the fact that he told you like, no, you can't go to battle phase, I was like, I think you are allowed to. Like,
I think if I declare it like a second before the timer is called, you're allowed to.
I don't know.
I don't think like if you're in the middle of a combo and it goes off and you weren't aware, like you can't be like, oh, battle phase. I think it's like, oh, I have a second left, battle phase.
I feel like we've done this a few times, if anything. In fact, I've seen other people doing that. No, time goes off, they're still in the middle of a combo, and they say like, no, I got game, enter battle, pa pa pa. Like that's why I'm kind of confused with the guys interactions that you can't go to. Is that one of our people? Is this just a random?
Yeah, it's one of our people.
Who was it?
No, it's not random. It was Monty.
Oh my God, Oz! Jesus, Oz, what's with you with your branded stuff? Holy crap! I had to think who would have come with that cockamamie bullshit of having a pile of branded of all the stuff. Of course, it had to come from him. Of course, it had to come from him. He comes up with the most weirdest branded variants of all. Like he comes up with some of the weirdest cards, man. Shout out to you, bro. That's hilarious.
The second game was so bad because we were doing like a top deck war.
Oh no!
Because I opened pretty suboptimal.
Mm-hmm.
I opened like 2 births, and I was like,
okay.
With no name, and so he's the only one that had he had edge in was edge. Saber,
edge
or scissors. Someone that's like scissors.
Yeah, edge imp chain.
Yeah, so he had that, and
frightful combo.
Yeah, he just kept hitting me for like 12 until I finally got pressure planet. I'm like, pressure planet unicorn. I'll buy the full OTK because I was like, yeah, like if you can't stop me, if you can't stop me with the pressure planet and I have nothing in hand, like I pretty much can do an OTK. So very interesting. But yeah, I went undefeated. The last like the raw spear, the kaiju, everything that was so like crazy. That
had to be some Yu-Gi-Oh shit, bro.
Like people were watching, they're like, "What is this game right now?"
I'm telling you that looks like a Yami Yugi final duel destination bullshit. That it came all the way from the heart of the cards to say, "Yep, this is how it's gonna end."
And the worst part was I opened 2 raw spears. That was my 5th card.
Damn.
So if you have 5 monsters on board, I would just cleared 3 and then clear his other 2 with the raw spear. Oh no, I don't think you can. But I had kaiju, right? So it's like I would just leave the one monster I don't care about like on board.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was fun. It was crazy, but it was fun.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, bro. Yeah, I'm trying my best. Try my best to get to you guys. Other than that, I got nothing else to talk to you about, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or TCG stuff related. Like we're about to have Rarity Collection.
There is.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay. I thought you were switching, my bad.
No. Well, I'm switching to the topics that we got. So Rarity Collection 2 is getting released this week. I'm still surprised for the cost of a single box is 115. I don't know why it's 115 because it's such a trash set. I'm still hearing some YouTubers saying, "Oh, this is actually a good set. It's not as good as the first one, but it's good. We got this and that." I'm like, what the fuck are you guys are smoking?
Yeah.
Like, stop dick riding on Konami. Like, this is like the worst pile of shit ever. And I feel bad at that. A lot of vendors are trying to do case tournaments with this and try to sell this as much as possible because they know that these vendors, they're not gonna get any money. They're not gonna get any money. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that. This is the only thing that's getting released. Yu-Gi-Oh! Next month, it's gonna be Battles of Legends. That's where we're gonna get the Infernoid stuff. And July, Infinite Forbidden, which they already announced the sneak peeks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Front, the only thing that we got left to talk about, which is breaking news. This came out at the time that the episode aired. This came out today. What is it? The WCQ?
Yeah, the World Qualifier.
Yeah, they put up a ban list, but not just any ban list, guys. They put up a ban list for accessories.
Yeah.
It's accessories, right? Yeah, like to put it clearly, yes, it's accessory. Yeah. So do you have the link with you?
I have the picture.
Yeah. So give the rundown for it.
Mats. You can only use a plain solid color or officially licensed Yu-Gi-Oh mats.
Stop right there. So you mean to tell me that for when you're going to these tournaments, this world qualifiers, the only thing that's acceptable is a licensed Konami playmat or a blank solid color mat? Yeah. That's pretty much all you can have? Mm-hmm. Well, they get the bottom, first of all.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Second of all, when they say licensed Konami licensed playmat, would that include the OCG?
It just says officially licensed, so I assume yes.
Good, because let's just say that I have a OCG playmat.
Yeah,
that I want to play. When I play, are they gonna flag me? What is this? This is a custom made. No. OCG. Look, see OCG. I don't know. If they say like no, it has to be English, then they get the button again.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And the sleeves as well, right?
Yeah, the sleeves have the same rule.
Which is kind of weird because there's not that many selection for sleeves either. Most of the sleeves are in the OCG. Like you had to buy OCG products for you to use, or has the sick designs and whatnot. I'm happy at the same time disappointed. I'm happy because this kind of restricts people with the fucking waifu playmats and sleeves, hanging like hanging titties and cleavages and lollies and hentai shit. Like bro, like I to this day I still don't understand why a grown ass man will have a playmat of anime cleavages or titties and stuff like that for their mats or the sleeve. It don't matter. Like I don't know why a grown ass man would bring that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a man who comes and plays against you, and then he slaps his teddy cleavage waifu lolly hentai crap playmat, wouldn't you think like, yo, you're kind of weird?
It's wild. Yeah,
like. It's a different story when you bring your Dark Magician sleeves, because your Dark Magician sleeve is more Konami sponsored. Like it's his official.
Yeah, they're OCG.
They're OCG.
They're OCG sleeves,
and they don't have, and she doesn't, and she's not revealing. That's what I'm trying to get to. She's not revealing, but it's a different story if you bring like a bikini version of Dark Magician girl. Then you're just like, yo, dog, come on.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that they restrict to that aspect. Yeah, dog, like we can't have that. In fact, the other day, like I sent you a picture. Didn't I send you a picture of this guy that's trolling? Like he was trolling hard about that whole waifu lineup that they was saying like, hey guys, is this okay? And you see like all the women protagonists of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like on cleavages and thin lines and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like you have issues if you have to go to a judge's Facebook group and say, is this okay to play? Are you guys gonna find me? I was like, bro, you get the button for that part,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Because like, there's no way on earth would that be okay. And I completely understand why Konami will do that. Konami is saying that because, at the end of the day, what we discussed multiple episodes ago, this is a what? A children's game. They want to be legit, and they've said it from time to time that they want to be like, go through esports, that they want be broadcasted by esports, sponsored by esports. So obviously they're taking measures for that aspect so they can avoid all that stuff, because they don't want to see a pro player wearing that type of stuff on during finals or something like that, especially if they're live streaming. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay that they're taking those precautions to, quote unquote, singling out those guys that are, that are ruining it for everybody. And then here's the flip side as to why I'm not happy about it. Those jerk faces are ruining for everybody who has, custom made mats or custom made sleeves. Like we don't want to be playing. We don't want to be playing with Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves because Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves don't have that many. And if you're telling us like, oh yeah, it has to be TCG exclusive sleeves, then it's like, bro, there's not that much. It's like, okay, I see the Magnificent Maven sleeves, the 100th anniversary, the Slifers, it's slim picking from there, and maybe people don't really want that. People, I don't want to run my fucking deck with these sleeves. Like, I don't. I bought a custom made sleeves of whatever anime or even from Yu-Gi-Oh itself. It looked sick. I want to flex, and that's that. And same was with the gloves of the mats. As long as there's nothing like offensive about it, I think that's the important key. Like, nothing is offensive. I think you should be good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like upset like that. Like, that means it restricts us from a lot of those tournaments. But again, I understand their business point is that, we're trying to do this kid-friendly tournament, trying to broadcast it, and here comes somebody sponsoring some other dude, and their artwork or, their waifu and shit. They don't want that. They want everything to be legit 100%. And they want the money because that's what Konami is all about. So, it kind of sucks. And I feel this is kind of dumb in that perspective for Konami, because Konami doesn't have any prizes. Like, there is no money involved winning on these prizes. You get trophy, if any, for that trophy, bragging recognition, like YCS champion or 2-time YCS champion, shit like that. And, worlds collecting points, the more points so you can come back to the next worlds or nationals for free and shit like that. Boxes, like you get like, a case or have a case plus exclusive
Nintendo
mat,
Switch.
a Nintendo Switch. But you see, it's only product based is their winning pricing. They don't have anything that's like money, like it influences money. Like, no, it's all product basic because it's easier for them. Whereas One Piece and Pokemon, they do have money prices. There is money involved to it. So I can see Bandai and Wizards could be a little bit more restricted on that aspect because they want to broadcast and whatnot, and that's going to be on esports. I've never heard anything wrong with Pokemon because it's a children's game at the end of the day. And legit, there are a lot of children playing Pokemon. So like the whole sleeves and mats, I don't think that's that big of an issue because everything is all kid friendly. And One Piece, I'm not gonna say they aren't because there definitely are, especially if you got the Namis, the Robins,
Nami and Boa Hancock.
Yeah, Boa Hancocks. There's gonna be a couple of weirdos here and there doing that crazy shit. But I'm pretty sure if you're on our nationals, I mean, I will have to ask Travis and Chris since they go there to regionals, like how restricted are they when it comes to the accessories, like the pots, the sleeves and the playmats, So, but I don't know if I don't know if I saw it or not, but I saw that, on upon entry, maybe I'm mistaking it. I don't know. Because I know One Piece, they still reward you with exclusive promos and whatnot So even if you don't win, you still win something back, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is me talking, all right? This is my opinion. But I think if Konami's gonna be doing with this whole cases and product winning tournament shit like that, and they want everything to be like, oh, it has to be Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves and Yu-Gi-Oh mat, I think that they should give that instead of giving us 5 booster packs, I think they should give us a regional Konami licensed regional sleeves.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Konami official regional sleeves, and either a deck bots or a playmat, licensed Konami playmat. You know, probably the playmat because you know, like it's gonna be a Konami license. You know, like if Konami does that, I feel like more people will be more inclined to play more Yu-Gi-Oh and be more excited for it because like, oh shit, I didn't win today, but hey, I got these nice sleeves. I got this nice mat, you know? Like it doesn't have to be like you have to make up a new regional mat. No, it could be like the sneak peek mats, you know, like just or give away the old sneak peek mats or the previous is like whatever, like something, you know? Doesn't have to be, you know, I mean, you're better off than that than doing the giving out 5 boosters. No, because everybody will complain about it. And then to end this and pass it on to you, I think like that should be a thing for these nationals and world champions and whatnot. Like I feel like that should be a thing. If they want to be licensed and they want to implement this ban list, which kind of sucks for a lot of people because I'm pretty sure a lot of people ruin it for everybody. If they want everything to be like official license and it has to be with this, then give us something. Like give us sleeves. Give us like the tournament sleeves. Give us a mat or a deck box. It doesn't have the deck box. It could be just a plain deck box. So it doesn't. So we're already falling into that category. So we're not worried. But a play mat, you know, because not everybody's gonna have a Konami playmat. Nobody wants to buy a Konami, but if it's given to them, 100% they're gonna be using on everything. So I feel like that's my little rant. You know, I say I'm happy with it because that way it stops a lot of creeps and weirdos from broadcasting that stupid shit. And then at the same time, I'm upset because damn, I spend money on sleeves, on custom made mats. And I love them.
Yeah, but you don't go to Worlds, bro. Like,
yeah, I guess.
Like you know? The highest we've gone together is regionals.
Yeah,
and this doesn't apply to regionals.
Luckily,
well, the rules are still in effect, but it's. I guess I'll just go and say that like basically their whole thing is like at Worlds or I guess bigger than like regionals. Like they're using judge resources to judge mats because people will literally just call over a judge and be like, this is making me uncomfortable. And it's just like Dark Magician girl, like, you know, like with her boobs out. And then the judge has to decide like, is that unacceptable? Okay, well, it's like her nipples are covered and, you know, she doesn't have a camel toe because a lot of these mats have like, you can see their indent, you know?
Yeah.
On their bottom part. I don't know what's stream friendly to say, but so that's what I'm saying. So like they will call over a judge, and the judge has to literally decide, I'm like, is this uncomfortable or not? And then one judge will say yes, and then the next round starts, and then someone else will call a judge and be like, hey, like this is making me uncomfortable. And then maybe it's the same judge, maybe it's not the same judge. So like they're just wasting resources judging people's sleeves and mats.
Yeah, but
like at the beginning of games.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know how Worlds and Nationals are. But in regionals, like, let's not pretend. Like, these motherfuckers are not doing that. They're not getting called all the time. They're just standing up the majority of the time, you know? Unless somebody screams, judge, you know? But they're not, but it's, at least all the regionals that we've been to, I haven't seen like all judges all simultaneously have to be attending. There's literally no judge available. Like, no, they take care of the problem very fast. So it's not like they're taking away any resource at all. It's like the judge is judging. You know, he's not doing any other action other to keep an eye if somebody shouts at it. So I don't know. I understand where they're coming from. The whole taking away my resource for it, but at the same time, it's like. Again, this ban list, they targeted at those guys for sure. 100% they targeted.
They said they want to provide consistent experience for the attendees of all ages. So they're basically saying that like little kids are literally seeing your cleavage and your camel toes. Right. And y'all need to stop that. But I guess to the other part about giving sleeves and mats. For like just signing up for the tournament, they said they're going to do that, but only for world qualifiers.
So so I did heard it, but I wasn't sure about it.
Yeah, but it's not for regionals.
Yeah,
or YCSs. It sounds like it's only for worlds.
Not even nationals.
Well, nationals is the world qualifier.
Oh, okay. So only nationals and world. Not even YCS?
National and higher.
Not even YCS. That's dumb. But not even when they get to the last round that they need to, like in the last round, the last couple of rounds that they have to, like, you know, whoever wins is the YCS champion. Wouldn't that make sense for them to like, here's the sleeves because we're gonna broadcast this. We want you to use this. Like,
I don't know if they give sleeves. I know they give a mat, and then like a card that's like an exclusive card. But yeah, for regionals, they're not giving sleeves. If they did, I might attend more. If they were,
like I said, if they would have done that, I would have attended a lot more regionals.
Yeah,
just to get.
I don't attend regionals because the last time what is it? The Rule Sharks just ruined it for me because I'm like, I'm here to play. Like, if you're gonna beat me because you actually like have the skills to beat me, not because you're nitpicking a rule and you actually lied about the rule. Because that's what happened to me. That someone tried to rule shark me, and it was like they were in the wrong too. So I was like, so it wasn't because I understand like the rules are the rules. I agree with that, but it's like you're claiming I did something illegally, like illegal action, but it was a legal action, and you're trying to explain that was illegal to the judges, and then I had to go and defend myself, and it was like, bro, all I had was one monster on the field that did nothing. You can easily beat over it, you know. But it's just like. That just ruined it for me because it's like it's a game. I understand you want to win, but it's like, what do you want to win for? Because everything you said about it's like, bro, you want to win to get an invite to maybe win a Nintendo Switch. Like,
seriously, yeah.
Okay, bro. Like, okay, that's why we're doing this.
And I'm pretty sure the guy didn't even land that far.
No, he didn't. Because I stayed like 2 more rounds and he did not win his next one either. So I was like, okay.
So that ruined your experience for regionals altogether? You say, fuck that, never going back? Or would you ever go back with me?
I have to be motivated.
Okay. All right.
I think Prodigy is probably better than cool stuff.
100%.
Because the same thing, like in the same regional, they really screwed over Alex. And I'm like in solidarity with Alex.
I'm with Alex. That is such a great player.
I mentioned it where like they said like he was allowed to sign up without a penalty, and then they still gave him the penalty for being late, even though the judge told him like. So I was just like, so they can't even honor their own word, you know?
Yeah. No.
And it's like, even if the head judge should listen to their judge and be like, hey, sorry, I made an exception. The head judge should be like, okay, like that's fine, but don't do it again. Not like, okay, let's just screw over the person. So I was like, yeah, like also the. In Prodigy, I also told you about that one judge that kept like looking at me.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one judge that keeps an eye on eyeballing you.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, like I'm not cheating. I'm literally playing the game, and it's like someone asked for like a ruling. They didn't like my answer, and then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna eye hawk this guy," and it's like, bro, like I'm literally at the bottom table, just trolling around, like just having fun, and you're just like hovering over me.
Yeah.
Which was like weird. And then I don't want to accuse anyone of cool stuff, but I think sometimes like the people are like friends with each other.
Oh, bro, we can talk about it. Of course. They're all biased. 100%. And it's because I've dealt with these people before. Like, I've dealt with them in the tournaments, in their local tournaments, and I've dealt with them on the regionals, bro. Like, 100% there's biasy, bro. And I see their strategies, bro. There's most of the time their strategies, they try to play with as teams, you know, and if they ever get paired up with each other, then one of them will bow out. So like, hey, you got this win. Yeah. So that way you can keep going, you know. 100% they're biased. And it's not just cool stuff. It's not just cool stuff. I've seen it happen in Prodigy too, even though Prodigy is much more restricted about that, but I see their people's clits in there. And I've seen it PPG. I've seen it on the Cool Stuff Miami, and I've seen it you know where. I especially see it. I think one of the reasons why I stopped going to you know where is because of a certain rulings that I was dealing with my opponent. My opponent happens to be a judge, but he's playing with me, so he cannot judge, but he's just going about based on what he's saying. And I'm like, nah, I gotta call an actual judge. And obviously the judge that was there is friends with the homie, and he's gonna side with the homie. And then it was later that I found out like the ruling that he was doing wasn't supposed to. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not gonna go play with people that I know they're clicked with each other and they're gonna, you know, look out for each other no matter what. Because that happened also in one of the regionals from Prodigy that before it went to the store, it was in the FAU. That happened. One of the judges was helping one of the guys next to me because I've seen them before. Cool stuff. And a random judge stopped the game so they can deck checklist. So they checklist both of them, and then he came back to the guy and say, "Hey, do you have another card of this? Because this one is looks slightly light play, and you need to like replace it with a new one." The problem is that card is an old card, like it's an like 4 years old card.
That's not old, bro.
No,
the game is 25 years old, bro. If you said like it's a 2004 card, then yeah, that's old.
No, bro. When it comes to like anything that's past 1 year, it's considered old because nobody's gonna have that specific card on their binders or on the singles for the vendors to sell. People are always gonna have the most recent update or like collectors, you know, highest rarity card shit on their binders. And vendors are always gonna have the highest rarity cards and the most recent cards. So let's just say, for example, we go to a regional, it's Legacy of Destruction. All right, they're gonna have some Legacy of Destruction. They may actually have some stuff from Phantom Nightmare, but it's not a guarantee they're gonna have stuff from Age of Overload or anything before Age of Overload, you know? And it gets slim picked afterwards, you know? So that's what I'm trying to get to. Like the card is a 4-year-old card and it's a common card. So it's not like anybody's going to have that specific card as a common in either of the vendors. So
I agree with you there.
Yeah. So the guy next to me, he felt like, bro, how am I going to do this? Like, I don't have time. And he's like, he needs to find a way to get it. Otherwise, he's getting disqualified and he cannot play for the rest of the regional, even though after he already started playing a few rounds. And one of the judges was his homie, and he says, "Don't worry, I got you. Hold on, give me 1 second." And he went all about it, all around regional, and said, "Yo, this guy has this card. Go get it. And then once he got it, he came back, and even after the round ended, they let him play 10 more minutes of the round. I do that, judge is gonna laugh at me. But the guy does that, and he's homies with the judge. Oh, no, I got you.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Biasy.
Emotional damage.
And it's unfortunate.
No, I know they're biases. That's why I like Chris and Travis, because like I'm cool with Chris and Travis, like, you know, we hang out outside the store and stuff,
right.
But when it comes to rulings, they don't care that I'm their homeboy. They literally are just like,
yes,
this is the interaction, this is it, this is it, and that's how it should be.
Exactly.
Like that's how it should be.
Yeah, because otherwise, all the times that I called for rulings, they would have sided with me. Like they have sided with me. So let's say out of 10 rulings that I've called in, they say that at least like 4 out of the 10, they sided with me, and the rest they sided against me. Not because I'm not one of their customers or their homeboy. No, they sided because the ruling goes like this, and it's not like I'm trying to shark anybody either. I need to learn about the ruling as well, because I thought I misinterpret a certain ruling, and I would like a judge to clarify that interpretation for me and clarify that ruling, so that way I learn from the next time that thing happens, you know? So that they're shout out to them, because they definitely don't do it for anybody. They just like, they're going by the book. This is how the book is. This is how you go, you know, read.
Yeah.
Because we don't read. We can, but we can.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
So going back to that regional where like the thing happened with the Rule Shark and and Alex, there's a game that I'm playing against a guy, and I lock like a bunch of his zones.
Yeah.
And he gets rid of my Shenri Era. And as I'm like moving the Shenri Era to the graveyard, one of the judges runs up, and she doesn't run up. She was already like looking at our table for some reason. And she was like, you have to clear that. You have to clear that. I'm just like, I'm still doing the action of resolving, you know, like I'm moving the Shenri Era to the graveyard, and now I'm going to take my, you know, zone blockers and then move them away. But it was like, I'm like, is that not backseat dueling or something? Because I'm like, neither of us were proceeding to do something because the guy understood I was clean. So the guy even called the judge, but I just knew he was cool with the judge. And so it was almost like the judge was just like watching her friend duel. And he was also like, yeah, he's going to clear it, you know? It wasn't like she saw like an illegal state and then like was trying to fix it or something. She literally saw me like I was getting rid of Shenri Era. It was going to get it. She's like, oh, you have to clear that, right? Like, you have to clear that. It doesn't stay there. I'm just like, no one is questioning that.
She's interfering. That's called...
Yeah, I guess it's
that's called interference, because judges are supposed to spectate, and anybody else. When they see a game, you spectate. You're not supposed to make any call or any ruling until a certain action is happening.
Yeah.
So the judge like preemptively took a call without being called. That's interference. She should watch out what she's doing. But yeah, biasy because of the friend.
Yeah, and I thought it was just like almost like, oh my god, like I can't even finish the chain resolution without a judge saying something. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Don't worry. Let me pass the judge exams. I'll be a judge, and then when you play, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna make sure you're number one. Like, you're go undefeated, and you're gonna win, and you're gonna surprise everybody. How the fuck? And it's like, yeah, the guy's good. That guy's good. He's a pro player. It's like, Michael, got you.
You got me. Thank you. Yeah. It's so annoying because it's like, I mean, I get it because it's like the judges do it for free, or I guess some do it for free. Some are like workers of the store. So I get it. Like, you don't have a stake in it, but it's like, if you're going to play a game, try to like keep the integrity of it, you know, like
quote unquote,
just because they're your
integrity.
friends. Yeah. Like, just because your friends, like your friends can mess up, and it's okay to tell them like, hey, like you messed up.
Exactly.
You know, you have to get better. You know, you can't just be like, okay, I'm just going to help you through. And then when they go to, I don't know, a higher table and they can't win, it's like, well, that's why, because they were winning because of like bad rulings or blah blah blah. Like,
anyway, it is what it is. That's the sour state of what we had to deal on regionals, man.
Yeah.
Biasy. Do you believe that this recent ban list of play mats and sleeves happening in Europe and Oceania, which basically in Asia, do you think it's gonna apply very soon to North America region?
I think it will.
Okay,
but I actually don't know why they didn't hit all three, regions at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. Again, I don't. Sometimes I don't understand why I question the ban list sometimes. So I question Konami. I question Konami on the product releases as well. So it's like, like that's just Konami at the end of the day, being a bunch of trolls, I know I saw a questionnaire saying like, hey guys, did you like Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles? Let us know.
Oh, I filled that out. I changed the language to English and then filled it out. Because they really want, and then they're like, do you really want this on like a streaming service? Like, yes.
You're like what kind of bullshit questionnaire is that? Of course. Everybody's been asking about this. Of course, everybody wants it. Oh, no. We are pleased for the masses. Yo, you get the bottom, Konami.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
What kind of bullshit waste of time survey is that, bro? Look, do you like Chronicles? Like, of course everybody wants Chronicles. In fact, that's exactly what everybody thought. Everybody thought that, this is happening. This is a thing. That means we're going to have like an episode long of Blue Eyes and its story and 5 episodes of Albaz or something and 2 episodes of Ice Barriers and 1 hour, 6 Samurais. Like, we thought that's what's gonna happen. We didn't want this short clips version of it and to get re-released. Those short clips. Like, what the fuck? No. Konami,
but better late than never. I'll say that.
Sure,
I'll look at the positive side. It's better we get it like in 2 years than never getting it at all. But in 2 years, it's like there's gonna be newer archetypes with newer lores. It's like right now we have Snake Eyes. This whole Snake Eyes lore. Like
I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Konami, they're just a bunch of trolls at the end of the day for me. Sometimes I don't know who the fuck is handling their shit in Yu-Gi-Oh department, because sometimes they're just very questionable. I mean, like, what was it the other day that I was complaining about? The Rarity Collection. The Rarity Collection is a perfect example of a Konami fail attempt.
Yeah. Rarity Collection and Tenpai. I'm sorry, Trident Dragon.
Yeah, bro. But that's what it is, bro. Like, I'm done talking about Konami and their bullshit. Next week, I'll have another rant. We'll see. Any final thoughts with this whole playmat thing? You thought it's funny?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And it's going to come to America. I know it.
100%. Do you think it's going to apply to regionals as well?
Maybe in America. Maybe that's why they haven't released it yet.
Interesting.
Because they have to now say like, hey, starting like whatever new regional format.
Right.
Or sorry, regional season. So probably like the Forbidden one, probably starting then. That's what they'll implement. Be like, hey, you need.
I'm okay with that, honestly. But I'm only okay if we're allowed to use OCG playmats and OCG sleeves.
Yeah.
Like the Zeus, the Chaos Ruler, the Psychic and Punisher, the Kurikara sleeves. Like, those are fire sleeves. Like, I wouldn't mind putting those, or Drytrons and other stuff. And then have the playmats from OCG. Like, I don't mind putting that. Hey, if they allow us, that I'm all forward to it. More power to you guys. And as well, I wouldn't mind flexing my judge mat. It is an official Konami licensed judge mat. Are you a judge?
I have an Astro Phoenix mat.
Oh,
so
you
I would flex that. I have Astro Phoenix, Jaden. I have Kaiba from a Comic-Con recently. It's him and then the Blue Eyes Jet. And then for sleeves, I even have them here. I might not show up. Hold on. The Master Duel sleeves.
Yeah, I see them. Lucky you.
I have them.
I love those sleeves. I wanted those sleeves. Lucky you.
So yeah, if they force us to only use like, and I think that's why like OCG will okay, because it says like Yu-Gi-Oh products. It didn't say like Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. Because I think they also know like a lot of people have the Master Duel stuff and stuff like that. So they just said like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like if it's officially Yu-Gi-Oh license, it's okay.
Got it. Because of the Master Duel sleeves. Okay.
So I feel like OCG would count too, because it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
Officially licensed. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, then in that case, if it's like that, if it's like you said, then I'm all for to it, and I'm all for to do it on the regionals if we have to. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on the next season regional. Coming up in Infinite Forbiddens. We'll see. Yeah, guys, let us know in the comments down below what you guys feeling about this whole ban list, ban list of playmats and sleeves. It sounds very interesting. Yeah, but anything else before we move on to the next topic?
No, I'm good.
Moving on to the video games aspects. So I don't know if you see it. Did you already saw the new Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer?
I didn't see the trailer, but I know about the controversy.
Okay, good. So we talked briefly last week about it, and I saw it. Keep in mind, guys, I say my expectations are low, and they're still low because it's Ubisoft at the end of the day. So Ubisoft finally released the most anticipated game so far, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And they released a cinematic trailer, so no gameplay whatsoever. But they gave us, a description of who are the protagonists, and it seems like they're going back again to back in the Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where you were able to play two main protagonists, and you can switch them off depending on the missions, and certain missions you're allowed to have with this protagonist, certain missions you're allowed with the other. I found it interesting. It was pretty cool. Like, okay, you can switch from shinobi or ninja to a samurai warrior, Ronin. So when they reveal it, they reveal like the ninja is a woman, Asian woman, and the samurai is a black samurai.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I honestly didn't read too much about it. I found it was like, oh, this is intriguing. Okay, cool. Nothing else was going through my head because you know why?
Yeah.
It's a fucking video game at the end of the day. So they can come up with any fictional characters that they want at any given time. I didn't care. I didn't put too much care to it. Yeah. And I know I remember there has been historically a black samurai, Jusuke, and it's our actual accurate historical figure. I was like, okay, cool. So I didn't know we had one, but now I know. Who the fuck would have known that this would have turned out to be the biggest controversial of Ubisoft ever? Like, we didn't have that many characters that were kind of controversial in the main Assassin's Creed games, but this one has to be the one. This is the one where we draw the line. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, I'm looking at some of the articles. The perfect example from IGN post this article saying Assassin's Creed Shadow is under fire for their featuring of a black samurai protagonist instead of representing an Asian protagonist, which, yes, it kind of made sense, but why a black protagonist, And it says that, but let's not pretend we suddenly care deeply about Asian representation. That's just the catching of it. And I kind of agree. And I'm a very advocate of shitting on IGN too many times. I really don't like IGN that much because sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, most of their information articles are clickbait. Most of them are just misinformation. Most of them is kind of outdated, and sometimes they keep repeating the articles like a week after. Like, they post an article now, wait until next week, they're gonna repost that article again as if it was something brand new came about. I was like, dog, I just saw this. Like, why are we repeating this? But the most I hate about IGN, the most, is their game reviews, because their game reviews are dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, they play themselves. Hold on. Let me get the button for IGN for this part.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
They play themselves when they play Cyberpunk 2077. When they went all about, oh, this is a great game, this and that, like, we can't wait. And they give it a high score. And they say, oh, yeah, I played this game. And when the game came out, so many glitches, so many bugs. It was incomplete. Everybody's an uproar.
Because it's paid review.
Yeah. And people are like, IGN, why the fuck? It's like, oh, I'm sorry. We were paid to say these type of things. And we're like, hit the button?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't let us know that it was glitchy? And they were like, yeah, we're going to do another review with saying like, yeah, it was kind of glitchy and not good. And this like,
what was that? Yeah.
Where was that at the beginning? So for me to agree with this article of IGN, it says a lot. I'm just going to briefly tell you. Ubisoft has finally announced a long-time game. It follows the dual protagonists, a ninja named Nayoi and a samurai based on the historical Black Samurai Josuke. So right there, this is accurate. This is already accurate historical figures. Well, it's known issue that Asian representation in Western game is severely lacking. I disagree because that's why we got Sekiro, Dynasty Warriors, Ghost of Tsushima, and the Yakuza, Midnight Clubs, like Tekken. Should I name more Asian represented?
Yeah.
Like
Street Fighter.
I kind of disagree on that. Yeah. Like, come on. Lack of Asian representation in the Western games? Like, I disagree. Anyways, this guy continues on with the article, says, I find it hypocritical and laughable that we're only talking about the need for an Asian protagonist now that it's being revealed Assassin's Creed Shadows will star a Black Samurai. This misses the forest for the trees. While I'm always advocating for the more Asian men in AAA games, I'll be the first to say that better representation isn't going to be found in yet another samurai hero. I kind of agree with what he say. If we want to see an Asian samurai protagonist, I don't have to look very hard. There are historical during the Edo period, the Meiji era, the shogunate. But my stance in all this is that they're doing a good job. They're trying to they're trying to be different.
Assassin's Creed is not like that historically accurate. Like wasn't Assassin's Creed 2 where like the Pope had like magical powers and stuff like that? Like and you fought the Pope and
the Pope is Spaniard when it's supposedly Italian or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, again, why are we complaining about this? Why? This is a fictional, made-up video game character. Why do we care? Like, it's laughable at this point, Like, I can't believe I have to side with fucking IGN of all people. And you know what? I'm okay with it, because at the end of the day, if the gameplay looks good and they're reverting back to the old Assassin's Creed games, then I'm all forward to it. I'm all forward to it. If not, then F you, Ubisoft. But again, like I feel like people are mad at the game for the wrong reasons. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why there's such a controversial with this, honestly. Do you have anything about it? Like, about the whole controversy? Like, why do we really care about this?
No, I mean, a lot of people are like disagreeing with the content creators are saying that like it should have been a Japanese person or Asian person or whatever. Just like they picked a historical figure. Yeah, people are saying the controversy is dumb.
It is, because there's nothing. What's there to complain about? Like, are we really complaining about this? Like, seriously, there's so many things happening in the world. This is the one that we're gonna stop a video game forever produce because there's not enough diversity. Oh no, there's too much diversity. Motherfucker, go make your own fucking game and create your own AAA game. Seriously, like, because the main protagonist is not Asian. They say that there's two main protagonists, the woman and the dude. The dude is not the main protagonist. It's the woman. She's the one with the hooded figure. She's the one with the creed. And maybe this guy is gonna eventually join the creed. But you can easily tell from the trailer.
Yeah. So
everybody gets the button at that point, bro. Because
congratulations, you played yourself.
There's nothing to complain about. Like, bro, it's a fucking. We're crying about a made up character.
Yeah.
Like, and again, we're crying about Ubisoft. Really, we're really that like we have nothing else to do that we're crying about Ubisoft. Okay, if that's the hill you guys want to die on, then by all means, you guys can do it. I'm just waiting for the game to appear. That's all. And anything else you want to say about this?
Not about that, but kind of related to when you were talking about IGN.
Yeah,
they're actually like under fire because I keep forgetting his name because I don't really watch streamers, but the streamer beat Elden Ring. I think his name is Kai something.
Kai Cenat?
Yeah, Kai Cenat. Yeah.
Okay.
Kai Cenat beat Elden Ring, and IGN put like a thing out, and then they were like the streamer that caused or that incited a riot in New York finally beat Elden Ring, and a lot of people were like, yo, like it was already proven like he didn't incite the riot, he didn't blah blah blah. So then like people are like, why couldn't you just say like popular Twitch streamer Kai? But instead they were just like, no, like the streamer that incited a riot, and like they're under fire. Oh, people are trying to hold him accountable, but IGN came out and they're like, the editor that posted that is not getting in trouble. And it's like, oh, okay. Like
IGN, you get the button again.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You played yourself.
And then today I was actually making fun of them on Instagram because I just tagged them on their shit because it's funny. But they did a review on the X-Men.
97, yeah.
Yeah, 97. I haven't seen it because I do not want to pay for Disney. But
me either. I want to see it though.
They have like the ratings. And it's out of 10. A lot of people, and they did not give a single episode a 10. And a lot of people were like this episode is a 10, like no, this one. So like they were saying like they should have given at least 110, but they didn't. But then not only that, but their average, or sorry, it's 10 episodes. They gave it points from 10, and the total points was 83. And then they said the season score was 9, and I'm like, that's not how math works. like it's 83 divided by 10 because it's 10 episodes.
Guess what it is?
8.3.
So you can give
8.3.
So you can either give it an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah. You can round it, but they either double round it. Or like, oh, well, that's close to 8.5, and 8.5 is close to 9. I literally told them, just like, hey, if you need a math consultant, just a paid math consultant, just contact me and I'll double check your math. Because I'm like, 83 is not a 9. That is not how the averages work. The season rating was 8.3.
Yeah, I've heard stories that the series is great, but I've heard that there's certain episodes that are like, if anything, like either it was slow or it was great or it was good, it was mid, it was great, good, but it wasn't like every episode was a 10. Like no, nothing was like, there's certain episodes that were 9s and 8s, probably like 2 or 3 that were like 5 or 4s, but everything else is like 7, 8, 9s, you know? Okay, like that's something that we can agree. All right, so the series itself was good because it was good enough that they renewed for a second and third season, you know?
Yeah.
But IGN gave them a 9, even though it was all come up to 83.
Their total points was 83. Yes, they gave it 83 points and said that's a 9 out of 10.
All right,
I'm like, okay.
So IGN, they get the button
Congratulations.
Again.
You played yourself.
And then Mike, I'm sorry, but you get the button.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You get the button for, ever trusting IGN's logic behind all these stupid review scores.
Oh, I don't trust it. I just, like I said, I comment at them and make fun of them because I'm like, you guys are trolling the audio, your viewers or whatever.
That's what they are, though. They become that. Like they became the. What was the Dark Knight quote? You either die as a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. They become the villain itself. Because again, repeating articles, putting out controversial topics, misinformation, missed details, and dog shit reviews. Imagine, like they give a game a 4 out of 10. And when you play the game is like fucking fire. You're like, whoa, how the hell did this land at a 4 out of 10? 4 out of 10. This is a fire. And now, and I say this because they give a bad review to Final Fantasy 16. And when I started playing the game, it's like, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. You just have to, you just have to play to it. And let alone, this is the same game that won a game award.
Yeah.
So you're saying that some of these games that are, Game Award worthy nominated, they're bad? Again, they're a bunch of trolls. They're a bunch of trolls. I don't think there's any other place that I trust reviews. I just see IGN all the time because they're always popping up in my feed, even though I keep telling them I don't follow you. I don't want you guys. Why you keep popping on my feed? Oh, yeah, IGN. Shut up, bro. Shut up, IGN.
To file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, at this point, file for bankruptcy. Anyways, moving on. I guess we can move on from video games and go to the last topics. Moving on to the last topics. Movies and TVs. What we got, the Garfield movie. Did you know that there was a Garfield movie?
Yeah, I go to the movies pretty often, so I would see the trailers for it. But I have no plans of watching it.
Yeah, I had no plans on watching it either. I just so happened to saw the trailer. The trailer, and I knew it was Chris Pratt on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have nothing against Chris Pratt because I feel like Chris Pratt is such a great actor. Because I loved it
Guardians?
No, Guardians for sure. I loved it on Guardians. I loved it on Jurassic World. I loved it on Parks and Recreation where he started.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. Yeah.
I loved it other movies that he actually did, and that was pretty good. But doing the voice acting, I hate him. Like, I don't like him as a voice actor because there's no passion behind it. He's just reading the lines as it is. He's not really like putting like the fire to it, because that was my biggest complaint with Super Mario Bros. The movie. Chris Pratt as Mario. I hate hearing his voice as Mario, and it's not because like I've heard Mario in a certain way over the years that I'm so used to it that this is like no. It could be literally anybody. And if you have that same charismatic and passion and go to as the original Mario voice, then I'll be fine with it. But the way he does it, it feels so fake and out of natural, and it doesn't do well. I just didn't like it. And people oversaw that because of how good the movie is, And that was like, guys, how can you oversee that when his voice acting was horrible? It was bad. Like, no, the movie was good. The story was good. Jack Black, everybody was good. And I'm just like, I get it. The movie overall was good and it did well. But guys, it's not the fact that, Chris Pratt did not sold me. It just wasn't. And it's not that he's not a bad actor because he's a great actor. It's just his voice acting is not it for him. And this is exactly what I'm trying to lean to, because with Garfield, it flopped. It flopped hard. And when I heard him again as Garfield, I'm just like, bro, now I know why it flopped. Again, he doesn't put too much emphasis. He doesn't put too much energy or passion into the voice. Like, he doesn't put the voice to it. He's just reading the lines as it goes and just make it sound like it's funny, but it's not. It's not coming off funny at all. That's my biggest gripe with it.
I think sometimes with actors, like when the camera's on you, you feel like the star. And maybe when it's voice acting for him and for other people, there's no camera, it's just you in the booth. Like, it's not that like exciting. Like, they can't get into the persona of the character, because there are voice actors that like get into the persona of the character as they're in the booth. And I think that's just something he can't do. But at the end of the day, he's like, yo, if they're going to pay me millions to use my shitty voice, I might as well. Not saying that his voice is shitty, but just his acting, his voice acting is not like the par. Because like even in Mortal Kombat, they got Megan Fox to be like one of the fighters. And a lot of people hate her voice lines because they're like, it's just so bland for a Mortal Kombat character.
Right.
And it was like, yeah, because I don't think she's ever done voice acting. And if she hasn't, that's her first time. But it was kind of like, we got Megan Fox to voice the vampire fighter. And it's like, that's cool. But like, they sound so like flatlined.
And that's my gripe with Chris Pratt, with Garfield, and with Super Mario. They're just so flatlined and so bland. It's just like nothing in it. It's just he's reading through emotions. That's what he's going for. So, and if this movie of Garfield shows you like how bad his voice acting was and overall, then like, Doug, like don't do it at all. Don't ruin it for everybody anymore.
Yeah,
we don't need to. Just saying that overall, like if it just flopped altogether. Moving on, The Boys renew season 5. You know, that's great news.
Yeah, season 5 has to be the last one, bro.
You think so, based on the storyline?
No, it just feels like it's gonna drag on forever if they don't stop it soon. Like I understand the success behind it and everything, but it's also like, please don't do like a Walking Dead and have like 20 seasons. Yeah. And like 20 spin-offs, like Fear the Walking Dead, the blah blah blah. And this, it's like, nah, let's just have a good story and finish it. Let's not keep throwing random like subplots.
Well, I mean, that's what remember, that's exactly what they were planning to. They were planning to okay, Gen V season 4, second season of Gen V, the next season of The Boys, and probably like the other season of Gen V. If
that's fine, but like let's not get past like let's not do a 10-year, 15-year series of it.
Yeah. Well, if there's any clear indication, this just confirms me that okay, nobody's gonna die this season. If anything, Butcher's the only one that I can see that can die, unless they, for some plot convenient armor out of nowhere, it says, "Oh no, I took away your disease. You can live for another until you kill Homelander." It just tells me like, okay, then this is not the last scene of Homelander and his shenanigans. We're gonna see another season of his stupidity. And I'm like, I'm done with Homelander. Like, I want him dead already. Like, I don't know how long this is gonna drag along, but we'll see how this goes. Honestly, hopefully it's good. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't want this to be dragging all the way to 12 seasons. Like, and you know, and lose the magic halfway there, because that's exactly what happens. You know, especially these type of shows. Like, these type of shows are good when you finish early on, you know, like give a good 5 seasons and end up with a 6, if anything, and that's it, or even before. Don't drag this out. And I don't know how Gen V is gonna be either with the recent passing of the actor. I heard that not gonna replace his character. I mean, they are gonna replace his character. I think something like that, something within the lines. I don't remember. I know I saw it and I passed it by, so I don't remember. So don't quote me with that. Can fact check me if you want. Lastly, we got the Knuckles review. So Knuckles is a good show. If I'm gonna rate it, I will say it's an 8 out of 10. It's a good show. It's not a great show. It's not the best. It's not an amazing. It's a good show. And I keep forgetting myself. Like, this is a kid's show. Like, they definitely can tell that, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, as much as we love Sonic and the voice actors and the actors, it's a kid movie. It's a kid franchise. And so the show is going to be catered for kids. So I could see how it was. And there was some stuff that dragged. And some of the comedic feel was definitely kid friendly. Like, you know, as adults, we get it. And as adults, we're like, oh, yeah, that's a kid show joke. But the battles scenes, they were pretty good. They were all on point. They were great. Yeah. So I was happy overall. Did you manage to see it?
Yeah, I finished it this week.
So what is your overall for this show?
I liked it. Like I said, like you have to judge it for what it is. So it's like a kid show.
Yeah.
Like you said, some of the humor was very like cringe, but it's like funny to kids. I felt like I wish there was a bit more Knuckles, but I also know like it was like the CGI cost a lot, and it's also like there. So to mitigate that, they had more of like Wade's story than like a Knuckles story, because it's called Knuckles, but it's like
a lot of the Wade.
Yeah, like for me, it's like I understand the whole thing was like Knuckles so was supposed to find his home, but it was almost like that wasn't like the main focus of the show. It was more like Wade and his dad.
Yeah, like it wasn't like very particular about Knuckles. It was all Wade trying to be better himself. Like here's the perfect description. They try to make an unforgettable side character to be remembered that he is a side character. And they try to portray him as like, oh yeah, he could be a main protagonist, but it's just like, nah, chill. We don't do that here. You're a side. Keep yourself as the unforgettable side, all right? Just keep it there, you know? But yeah, like the storyline is just like, The battle scenes were great, but yeah, you're right. They should have added more Knuckles and more Knuckles focused story as instead of Wade and his dilemmas. Like I feel like Wade and his dilemmas were just a drag, and his sister, that she works for the FBI. Yeah, like that. Like, okay, does she really work with the FBI, or she's just bullshitting everybody that she works for the FBI? Because I don't get the running joke with it. Because they keep running with it, and she keeps saying like, "I work for the FBI." It's like, bitch, if you work for the FBI, you should be front and center doing this instead of being like cowarding and afraid. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, the fuck? I thought they trained you in the FBI to do shit like that. What the fuck is this? Like, your mom is much more braver than you. Yeah, I say it's a good. I don't know if we really needed this type of spinoff. Like, if there was gonna be a spinoff, at least, like you said, more emphasis on Knuckles, more emphasis on his storyline and his character development. I feel like I didn't see that much of it, and I don't know if this storyline, this spinoff, will add any value to the third movie.
Probably not.
So it's like, was it really worth? Like, was it necessary to have a Knuckles? You know, a spinoff at that point? If we're that's why I'm like whatever about it, but at the same time, I can't say that it's bad. It's because it was good. Maybe I'm putting it too high as 8 out of 10. I could say it's 7.5 out of 10, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't mid either. It was just okay. It was good. It's a kid's show. We as the fans will wish there was more Knuckles oriented. That's it. Because the battle scenes were good. The battle scenes were on point. So they didn't fail on that aspect. So I'm just surprised. Like, yeah, when you put it in that perspective, it's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Like they didn't focus more on that. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Knuckles, no.
Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. 7.5 out of 10. We're generous. It's a good show. It's a good TV kids show. We recommend you guys watching it. Just remember, it's a kids show at the end of the day. That's it for today, man. Unless you have a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited for it. Let's do this.
I think these are the guys from Impound Comics. I don't know if you know them. They're pretty new.
Okay.
But they have like their own podcast, and they were asking people who would win, Krillin or Omni Man, in a fight.
You're not seriously. You're not. No. Really, Krillin or Omni Man?
Yeah.
Well, Krillin is not a Saiyan, so he doesn't have a hell high chance to be Omni-Man. So I will say Omni-Man.
Okay, a lot. They said Krillin.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Nani?
What's your answer?
I say Krillin too.
Nani?
I think we need to we need to backtrack. Remember, Krillin looks weak compared to the people in his universe, but Krillin is strong in other people's universes. And the fact that like Krillin is like planetary level destruction. He can do that.
NANI?
Omni Man can't do that. And in the comics, when they wanted to destroy a planet, they would have to have 3 Viltrumites work together to destroy a planet. And like people like Frieza has done that in like one attack without needing help from anyone. And I think Krillin at the end of I'll even give you Super, but even at the end of Z, or sorry, this at least the Cell arc, like he's at least Frieza level.
NANI? Hey yo, what the fuck?
I have to disagree.
And that's fine. You can disagree.
Because Krillin at the end of the day is still a human and you only can reach a certain levels, whereas Goku and the rest of the Saiyans, and Piccolo, they keep leveling up. Like their power creep is ridiculous. That it like let's say Goku versus Krillin. Obviously, everybody say Goku will wash Krillin. And I can say that Goku on his base form without anything will still wash Krillin. Why? Because he actually has the technique and the speed to beat down Krillin. Like, let's not forget that Goku knows how to do instant transmission whenever he wants to. And just that alone can instantly like knock Krillin out. Surprise.
Yeah, but Krillin is fast. Just because he doesn't know instant transmission doesn't mean he's slow.
But Goku's like, faster. Like Goku trains with gods and angels on his base form because they forcing him to do so. Like, I mean, Goku trains with gods. Let's refresh that again. Goku trains with gods on his base form alone. Krillin trains with himself or even with his wife. If his wife has to literally like, okay, I can't be going full power on you because one punch on me is too much. I need to power myself down so you can have your chance to go against me on a one-on-one. And she's an android itself and on his base form, no power ups or anything. If Krillin cannot take down his wife on his base form, what chance does he have going against, Goku itself on his base form?
Well, like you keep comparing it to Goku, but it's not a comparison against Goku.
Because Goku,
it's a comparison against Omni Man.
Goku is the closest comparison I can give to people to Omni Man, because Omni Man, let's not forget, Omni Man is fast as fuck. That motherfucker. A lot of people disagree with that because he couldn't even catch up to Cecil when he was trying to like grab his neck to choke him, and he just like clicked a button to teleport out of there. I'm
like,
sorry.
He couldn't even catch an old man with a button.
But Omni Man traveling from Earth to other planets or escaping the solar system at the speed of light, that's not fast enough for everybody. And the fact that he can hold his breath for long periods of time and the fast.
What does that have to do with fighting?
The fact that this guy, Omni Gang, has the strength to completely, fast track, like, from one planet to another in a matter of minutes. Gorilla doesn't have the speed of Omni Man. Like, are we forgetting that Omni Man can be in one place and then travel to Italy and come back the same day? Krillin, it takes like 20 episodes for Krillin to reach from one place to another. Have we not seen Dragon Ball before? Not to mention, they say that Omni Man is the closest comparison for Omni Man is Superman. That is like the fair comparison because they're both aliens. They're both from other places. They both have they were born with super strength. That's their thing.
But that's their origin story.
I mean, yeah, and they got heat visions and shit and whatnot, and they can destroy mass like it was nothing. That they have the power to blow shit up if they wanted to. But you're telling me...
but Omni Man can't destroy the planet. He needed 3 Viltrumites to destroy a planet. And if they messed it up, all 3 of them would have died. That was in the comics. He cannot destroy planets by himself. He is not a planetary threat. He can wipe out the entire population, but he cannot destroy a planet. And the fact to me, like, Krillin scales to Frieza and Frieza can destroy a planet.
But when do we scale Krillin to Frieza? Because even Krillin cannot take down base form Frieza. Namek Saga?
After the Cell games? Okay, Namek Saga, yeah, but I'm saying Frieza has his feet.
Bro. Cell produced Cell Juniors that he says that they're equal to my strength. You couldn't take down a Cell Junior. The hell he'll take down on a Frieza.
You don't need to take out Cell. Cell is stronger than Frieza.
Well, back in the Cell games, but then when we fast forward to the Buu Saga or to the Super, Frieza became much powerful than Cell because of his scaling and his power-ups. Like in the Resurrection and F, in the Resurrection.
But you don't need to scale Krillin that higher. I'm just saying, when we're first introduced to Frieza, in his base form, he can already destroy a planet. He destroyed Planet Vegeta in his base form at that time. There is at some point a Krillin that is stronger than that Frieza. I don't need to keep comparing them as they move on. I'm just saying, like, if Frieza at power level, let's say like 100,000 can destroy a planet, it doesn't matter if he goes up to 2 million. We already know he can destroy a planet at 100,000. I'm saying at some point, Krillin is at least 100,000. It doesn't matter if he'll never reach 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. He already reached 100,000, and I'm using 100,000 as like the minimum to destroy a planet.
But does he have
That's
the
what
key?
I'm trying to say.
Does he have the key enough to destroy a planet? Does he have? Because
a Kamehameha wave is fine.
and I say Omni Man is strong enough to go to pierce through the Kamehameha wave because this was done on Death Battle. Superman was able to go pierce through Goku on Super Saiyan Kamehameha. If somebody like Superman like that can pierce through a Kamehameha wave, Omni Man can definitely pierce through a Kamehameha. And
I don't put Superman in the same league as Omni Man. They're not in the same league.
They're both like, okay, between Superman and Omni Man,
they can have the same Superman.
100%.
Superman solos Omni Man.
I wouldn't say solos, but it will be right there in a fair comparison that Superman will definitely beat Omni Man, but it will give a strong like, oh shit, it took me a while, but you know what? You're done because I got you. It's like fighting against Darkseid.
Superman can tow planets, and I know Omni Man cannot do that.
Krillin,
you're comparing them to characters that just scale past Omni Man a lot. And I'm trying to say, like, there are feats that Omni Man can't do that Krillin can. And that's just a feat of like strength.
You're not telling me that a Viltrumite like Omni Man cannot beat Krillin, a human, on his base form. You're not telling me that. If you're saying that
I will tell you that.
If you were to tell me that Krillin does a Kaioken, then shit, all bets are off. Krillin will definitely watch Omni Man, but Omni Man, based on his strength and speed alone, like Krillin has no chance. Krillin cannot be that faster than Omni Man. Omni Man can travel at light speed ahead. He can travel to planets in terms of minutes. He can travel to a country in terms of seconds. Krillin doesn't have the power to travel to seconds unless he has instant transmission like Goku has. And again, Krillin is a human. If he cannot take down his own wife, what chance does he have anything other but his wife? And I'm pretty sure his wife can take down Omni Man. I mean, in fact, any android can do it. But I find it hard to believe that a human like Krillin that has a tough battle fighting his own wife will wash Omni Man. Like, I find it very hard to believe. Omni Man was his fast speed strength alone is already enough. And
I just don't think he's stronger than Krillin. That's my age. I just don't think he's stronger. His feats don't prove that he's stronger than Krillin.
And it's based on all the stuff that you've seen on the comics.
Yeah. Or like even in the show, what has he done other than like beat up another Ultramite? I'm sorry, Viltrumite.
I mean, he definitely
he hasn't punched through the moon or something. Like,
what about the kaijus and defeating the entire the whole fake Justice League, whatever they're fucking called.
I don't know how to power scale each individually to Krillin or to anyone in the Dragon Ball.
Well, the fastest
universe.
man alive in that sense, you know, the fastest man alive,
Okay, Red Rush.
Red Rush died from Omni Man. Like Omni Man was able to match his speed. Like obviously Red Flash was faster than Omni Man in some sense. But the fact that Omni Man can try and match his speed and kill him regardless, that says a lot. The fact that that's a scale itself. The speed alone is already enough. I don't like if we turn to speed between Red Rush and Krillin, I don't think Krillin will beat him in speed in terms of speed alone. Strength, probably. Screen got this. He got it, but he has to catch it at the end of the day. The fact that Omni Man can definitely match Red Rocket or Red Rush's speed already says enough for me to say, like, duh, this guy's way too fast for Krillin even to catch a beat. I'm not gonna say that Omni Man is gonna wash Krillin. I'm pretty sure like Omni Man's gonna have a tough battle against Krillin, but a Kamehameha wave, the amount of seconds that takes you to do a Kamehameha just to fire it at the guy's just gonna dip and then come back and hit you harder. And even
solar flare, bro.
What do you mean that's a filler?
No, solar flare.
Okay, solar flare.
So he's gonna blind Omni Man and then just charge
but we've
up.
seen Immortal. It wasn't Immortal that like tried to blind Omni Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we seen him like try to crush his eyes. That didn't stop Omni Man. You honestly believe a solar flare will do much? It will probably stun him for a bit, but he will know. He'll be smart enough to know. It's like, fuck, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay, where's the guy? And even with the destructo disc, even if he tries to create a destructo disc, Omni Man's gonna see that for a mile away. Any key blasts that's gonna come towards Omni Man's gonna evade it eventually. Like that, there's no way. If Omni Man stands in front of Krillin and Krillin does his biggest Kamehameha wave, then I'll give it to you. Then I'll give it to you and say, like, yeah, because Krillin has that power to destroy a planet. But if it turns of battle, like going like 1 versus 1 and trying to like, you know, going like this all around, Omni Man's gonna beat him. And let's not forget, Omni Man has a larger durability. Like he has gone. People it's not you, but people do forget that Viltrumites can last centuries. Like Omni Man is as old as a mummy. Like he is like, I don't know how many centuries old. He's probably a lot of centuries old. So he already has his battle experience in his head, engraved in his head, and he's already a tactician at his best. So he can know how to counteract some of Krillin's stuff and knows how to take it down based on his battle and war experience. Mm-hmm. That alone, that's already Omni Man and his mindset. Because we can think of Omni Man and his raging killing without even thinking going berserk, sure. But let's not forget that he's a couple centuries old. Like he knows how to fight. Like he's been trained to fight. Like that's his birth. His birth is to train and fight and then go conquer planets. And he's been doing that until he landed on Earth. And when he landed on Earth, that's when he stopped his rage of conquering, you know? So like, if we're and I compared that same level of battle thinking as Goku, because Goku over the course of history, Goku is like every other fucking shonen protagonist, that they get stronger due to battle. We seen this through Naruto. We've seen this through Natsu from Fairy Tail. We've seen this from Asa from Black Clover. Like we've seen this from Deku from My Hero Academia. Like they may be dumber than dog shit, but when it comes to battle, their battle IQ is literally over 9,000. And when you compare that level of battle IQ to Omni Man, who has been like fighting his entire life, and we're talking about eons at that point, there's no chance that Omni Man is gonna lose to somebody who's been battling for 30, 40 years, 50 years of his life, however old Krillin is. Like there's a huge like gap between eons to 50 years. That experience, that battle experience alone could get you can take down anybody who hasn't battled enough. Like I know how to take you down. This is the same thing as DJing. I've been DJing for 20 years, and I got this kid that's been DJing for 5. He believes that he can start playing on clubs. And he might have some certain skills, but then if he decides to do a DJ battle, he's gonna realize like my level of skills and where I am. He's gonna realize like, holy shit, I have a long way to go because my DJ skills is on a whole nother league than his. He got it. He's got the talent. He's got the skills, but he's still light years away for getting closer to me. Based on all of that, that's where I'm heading towards why I believe Omni Man can take down Krillin. Now, based on that information, that still will not change your mind out of it.
No, I think Krillin is stronger.
Just based on key.
Yeah, and to me, like, yeah, Omni Man has battle experience, but like, there's the strongest race in the universe other than maybe Battle Beast. So it's like, is he even getting challenged? That's my issue. It's like, is he actually gaining skills, or is he just landing on the planet and just like looking at everyone and then they just like instantly submit? And it's like, oh, okay, like you're not really battling.
Which one we're talking about, Omni Man or
Omni Man? I'm just saying, like Omni Man is like the Viltron is so strong that like if they go to your planet, most people just submit.
Well, I mean, let's not forget that there's planets in which they tried to fight these Viltrumites. They even got to their best weapons, like nuclear level weapons, and they still wasn't enough to take down an Omni Man. I mean, even an Earth Alliance, they had to go to their strongest kaiju that's ever existed or created. Wasn't still enough to take down the Omni Man. Then again, Omni Man was handicapped because of his son. His son didn't know what's going on, so it was like 2 Viltrumites against 1. And Immortal as well. So that's might be boo, but still, like, Omni Man has faced nuclear level threats and kaiju, like big kaiju level threats, and he's still topped. Like what, like other than Frieza, what other thing can we prove definitely that Krillin is definitely, planetary level that can destroy the whole planet? That again, he cannot take down his wife. And his wife can destroy planets if she wants to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even if like she is stronger than Krillin, I think there's like a threshold where like if you have this certain power level, you can beat Omni Man. And I think like a lot of the characters in Dragon Ball can do that, including Krillin.
I will agree on the characters in the Dragon Ball, but I'll disagree on the ones who are pure humans. Like Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, Master Roshi. Like any of those human levels, I don't think they have enough power levels to go that far. Whereas androids, they're infinite supply of power, and they can continue to increase. All the Saiyans in the series, they keep power creeping over and over again. Like we keep seeing different forms every time. The Namekians, like Piccolo showed us that he can go above and beyond. I mean, he became Orange Pickle, which is something that's never seen before. And Boo is known to be like Boo barely does anything, yet his power level is as strong of as a god. Like Boo can wipe out, and Boo did it. Boo basically wiped out the entire universe. I mean, the entire planet, planets and universes. Like Boo is that strong. So I see like all those comparisons. It's like I feel like anybody who's outside of Earth and anybody who was created in Earth can definitely match up and slap the shit out of Omni Man or any other character. But anybody who was born in Earth and only has like its own natural powers, it's hard for me to side with humans at that point, because like you can only get to a certain level, and then once you do get that level, there's only so much that you can push and push that envelope and that threshold. Whereas like all other Saiyans, they reach that level, and even though that level feels like plateau, like they can go, they somehow, out of the power of plot convenience and plot armor and anime bullshit, they somehow destroyed that plateau and reached and power create to another level. See, when I see those results, I see that and I'm like, okay, it's believable. I can see that these people can definitely like go above and beyond. Humans, however, I don't see, like, I can see that they gone strong. I do see that, but I don't see like they gone to like planetary level strong. And that whole tournament of art or power in the last season of Super, I feel like that was some sort of bullshit altogether. When you look at it, because like how out of all the seasons of Dragon Ball Z that I've learned, that when you reach to a certain level of Super Saiyan, you keep powering up, and every time you power up a Super Saiyan, it gets stronger and stronger, and nobody can take you down that easily. Here, they go on Super Saiyan. You got people that are stronger than Super Saiyan. In fact, you have people like Kefla that was fused and can be as strong or stronger than a incomplete Ultra Instinct Goku. And they say that Ultra Instinct is supposed to be the power of the gods. And when you master that power of the gods, you could be potentially as strong as a angel and stronger than gods, because that's how angels. All angels are already like Ultra Instinct all the time. Why do you think that nobody can land a hit on Wiz? Whenever Wiz does the trainings, and Wiz is just so like la-di-la, like I'm not even flinching, I'm not doing anything, I'm just going by my fingers and blocking you two guys. Because Wiz and all the Rangers are at that level of Ultra Instinct that nobody can surpass it. Like it's almost impossible. I mean, people try, but it's like, nah, you can't. And all these certain level individuals, certain gods and individuals, mortals, can reach close to that. That's why, like in the manga, Goku is being trained by the Grand Priest and by the angels, because it's the only way for him to master Ultra Instinct, and it's the only way for him to like call upon Ultra Instinct like that. So when I hear those are type of level power creeps that I hear about, it's like, okay, the whole power tournament, that was a whole bullshit, because that means anybody can fight Ultra Instinct Goku. And I even seen like people going battling head to head with Goku on Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. Like, what? You're telling me you have the strength of battling gods? You're telling me that every fucking universe has the strength of a god. Everybody has the strength of a god.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
At that point, I felt like the whole tournament of power felt like Dragon Ball Z fighters. Like you're just playing, doesn't matter what character you're playing. Like if you're better than the character I'm playing, then, you know, you got it. That's where I stand with power creeps, you know? That's why I feel like, you know, anything outside of it, it's possible. Humans, sorry, we're limited to something. We're limited. Unless you give me the power of a god, of the Kais, where they can give you Kaioken, different story. 100%. If you got Kaioken, just like Goku, it's like, oh, forget about it. You got this. You got this. No. You don't have to show off. Kaioken, Krillin, 100%. You got this.
I don't know. I still disagree. I think you keep saying like humans have limits. You keep saying humans have limits, but it's like they keep breaking their own limits. It's like, well, they don't break it like Goku, like where he gets a times 20 multiplier, but like just look at the just Namek, where like they couldn't beat the Ginyu Force, but then Krillin and them die, and then train under King Kai, and then they easily one shot the Ginyu Force. So it's like how is that not you going past your limit?
I mean, you're trained by a god.
Okay, but he's trained by God. He has that feat under his belt.
But who was
Krillin
that?
has-
Krillin never died when he faced the Ginyu Force. It was Piccolo. Krillin never met King Kai. Yamcha, TM, Piccolo, and Yatsu went to training King Kai and battle against the Ginyu Force in the underworld, in King Kai's planet.
Krillin wasn't part of that?
Krillin was killed by Frieza.
Yeah.
But he never landed on King Kai because they resurrected him when they came back to planet Earth.
Oh, I haven't seen that in such a long time.
Yeah, Krillin never died. Like he probably got passed out against the Ginyu Force, and Planet Namek, but no, he never died. He survived Vegeta's wrath, then traveled with Bulma and Gohan to Planet Namek. He faced a bunch of Frieza's underlings. He faced the Ginyu Force with Gohan until Goku arrived. And once Goku arrived, it's like, all right, don't worry, I got this. And then he fought Frieza. He definitely fought Frieza because the Namekians gave him a hidden power, but he never. But it was just a temporary power buff, just so he has enough to fight Frieza. But it wasn't. He never died. He never landed to King Kai. It was Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, and Piccolo who faced the Ginyu Force, and they all watched the Ginyu Force. And even so, Piccolo was already OP as it is because he's up from another planet.
Okay, I just think like Prime Krillin is just stronger than Omni Man.
Prime.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick out any Omni Man too.
Okay,
I still think Krillin can solo him.
All right. And so that was the one question that this podcast guys from the comic books were saying.
Yeah.
So that was the question, and they dedicated an entire episode of it.
Not entire episode. There was just a part of it.
Oh,
but
okay.
They said Krillin would also win,
and they both agreed. There wasn't any debate. There was like, no, Krillin.
The first guy, one of them said Omni Man, but then the guy kept saying all the feats, and then he was like, okay, I don't think Omni Man is that strong in like the Giant Ball universe. So I'm like, yeah, that's also what I said too. Like, I think Omni Man is the strongest, or really like the second strongest in the Invincible universe. But I think if you take them,
but who's the strongest? The king of the Viltrumites. Because it's not, because it's not Invincible. Invincible is not stronger than the king of Viltrumites.
He could be Invincible, sure.
Yeah, Invincible definitely be stronger than his dad. That's for sure. But I don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, Invincible could even fight back against Anissa.
Yeah, so exactly.
He's not the strongest right now.
No, right now. Wow. That lasted 20 minutes of argument. That was a good one.
Well, good question. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, bring me more shit like that. Absolutely. We're gonna wrap this up. I'll have this one question for you.
Okay.
So they did a real-time test of how long does it take to turn on your PlayStation from PlayStation 1 all the way to 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they did a real-time test of how long does it take to load up. This is at a margin of seconds. All right. So I'm going to make it easier for you. It's a margin of seconds between 0 to 30. All right. I'll make it easier for you.
30 seconds?
From 0 to 30, depending on the PlayStation, to load up.
30 seconds.
To turn on the PlayStation, load up, and then ready to go. A margin from 0 to 30 seconds. That's the margin. It could be less than that. I'm just giving you because if anything, you'll never guess all of them. But can you guess how long does it take for the PlayStation 1 to load up, to turn on, load up, and ready to go? We're talking about the 90s.
But 10 seconds?
You were close. 11 seconds and 11.13 seconds. So you were close. Do you know how long does it take for the PlayStation 2 to turn on and load?
I feel the PS2 took a bit longer, maybe 15.
Far. It's actually less than that. 11.5.
So it's almost the same. Okay.
So, I mean, by a few milliseconds, the PlayStation 2 was faster than the 1. And we're talking about, and the PlayStation 2 was considered one of the best gaming consoles of all time. So there was no competition. Now, for the PlayStation 3, how many seconds do you think it took for them?
I'm gonna get this so wrong. I'm pretty sure 6 seconds.
No, longer.
I thought the PS3 was fast, but I guess not. I'll say 15.
Yeah, one more try.
Is it longer or shorter?
Longer.
No, bro. 30 seconds then.
25.7 seconds. Which is surprising.
That is a lot.
The PlayStation 3 happens to be the longest out of all consoles. It happens to be the longest. Very surprising. The PlayStation 4, do you know how long it took?
I thought it would be the longest. People call it a jet engine when it turns on, but 15?
Longer.
20?
You're close.
Is it bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
22?
Yeah. 22.24 seconds it takes for the PlayStation 4. Now, the Pro version is less than 22. You want to know how much it is?
20?
Yeah, 20.24 seconds. The Pro version.
You shaved 2 seconds.
Yeah. Now, do you want to know how long does it take for the PlayStation 5, who happens to be the strongest console of all time right now?
15?
Longer.
Bruh.
20?
Literally exactly 20 seconds.
Bruh.
Which is kind of like interesting because they say that the PlayStation 5 is powerful because it has like a lot of fast components, like a good RAMs, good SSDs and whatnot. So the fact that it's not the fastest and the old gen PlayStations like the 1 and 2 happens to be the fastest consoles, maybe it's because we're evolved, that these consoles are becoming more of a computers.
Yeah.
And they're trying their best to like turn on a computer as fast as possible, but it's like, like damn, the 2 and the 1 is like 10 seconds, 11 seconds, why is it 10 more? I have to wait for this shit to turn on, PlayStation 3 happens to be the longest, 25 seconds. So yeah, but good job. For somebody that doesn't play PlayStation, you're very good at this.
I just took random guesses. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought the PS3 was going to be one of the fastest ones, but I was just wrong.
I thought so too, but I didn't believe that the PlayStation 1 and 2 was going to be the fastest. And those are the ones that has less components. All these are...
That's exactly why I would think it's faster, because you have to load up less like stuff, right? Like the menus were like
probably
very simple if they even had menus, right? Because like the NES didn't even have a menu. It was just you load in the cartridge. That's it.
Yeah, it definitely had its menu. But yeah, it was just like kind of weird. It's like, damn, bro. Like, again, we're talking about these supercomputers in consoles, and you will think like, oh yeah, because it has great RAMs, great processor, great solid state drive hard drives, great this and great that. You will think that, oh, like, all right, it's gonna boot up like it was nothing. And maybe they're slick enough for you not to realize that because of the music. Like you don't notice how it drags, even though it's dragging, but you don't notice how that it's really dragging. Whereas the others is just like that. Have you noticed that with the Xbox or the Xbox 360 or any of the Xbox?
I mean, I know they drag because of the menus. I mean, the intro, like the X pins and whatever. I mean, I don't really care. I don't think 20 seconds is crazy though. I think I would notice 20 seconds, or maybe not. Maybe I'm just like texting as I'm like turning on the console. I don't even notice.
I think, and I think that's something that everybody does. Because normally, if I will want to play a game, I'll just turn on the controller, turn on the PlayStation, and I'm already doing other stuff while that thing loads up. And by the time I come back, it's like it's ready to go. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Any other final thoughts you got? We're gonna wrap this up right here.
I have nothing else.
All right, plug yourself out, bro. Let the whole world know what they can follow you.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Mike Phoenix Hero. I do tech profiles, unboxings, and kind of like we mentioned today, I'm going to do a tech profile on my Cashtira deck. So check that out once it comes out.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that tech profile. Yeah, guys, thank you guys for listening. And remember, like and subscribe for your weekly episodes here and turn that bell of notification here at youtube.com/AWGC podcast or a Wolf in Geeks clothing. You can also check the audio versions at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio at Wolf and Kids Clothing, Lone Wolf Podcast, or Wolves and Music. Comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experiences. If you guys got a specific topic that you want us to cover, please let us know in the comments down below. We'll do our best to talk about in the next episode. And please let us know what you guys think about the topics that we have discussed in the comments section down below. So guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys at the next one. All right, peace.